Good evening and welcome to the Simply Colorful Live Fibercast. Oh, and I see some people out there. Hello, Carol. Hello, it's August 7th, 2020. My name is Lynn Marquidon and I'm your host, and thank you for joining me. Grab a project and let's see what we can do together. So again, hi, Carol. How am I? I'm doing fine. It's not quite as hot here in Massachusetts, although it's still hot. But doing fine. I have the AC on and I have scraps and I have a continuation of an idea on this quilt. So I'm just going to play with the scraps a little bit tonight. Probably won't be a full hour, just to set expectations. And congratulations to my cousin Ray and his new wife Amy on their wedding tonight. Not that I'm going or any of that, but I will always remember this date. So very happy for them. Hi, Pat. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Leah. Nice to see you all. So you may remember a couple of weeks ago, we started playing in the scraps, and we just used a piece of newsprint on the back. We used the same flower in the middle, and I used pieces that were, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch strips, and I just did these squares, and they're meant to be light. They're lighter valued fabric. So I pulled some out, including some that we'd already used, and including a middle. So, and I have some newsprint here, so I might make one of those. And then I went and I looked in my stack of books, and I found this little book. It's very cute. I think one of my doll club friends probably gave it to me. Hi, Carol Bell. It's by Gwen Marston and Joe Cunningham, 20 little patchwork quilts with full-size templates. So they're literally little mini quilts for dolls. And this one spoke to me. You know how Kay Fassett has one that's made with dolls that looks fun. It's sort of similar to that. I wanted to make that, but this caught my eye, and it's tiny. Each one of these dolls ends up being 6 inches by 6 inches, it says. This whole quilt ends up being 15 by 19. I just thought I would try making one or a couple to throw in here, and I'm going to make them a small scale. I don't know if I want it to be quite as small as that inner piece, but this one even has the templates. This is kind of cool. At the back of the book, it has this cardstock with full-size templates printed on it. And this is classic. I don't want to cut it because I'll lose the templates. So what might I do? I think I'm just going to look at it and wing it. That's what I feel like tonight. It's the summer. I hope you all are having a good week and are getting ready to enjoy a summer weekend. I know I am. Even though one day feels somewhat like the next these days. Let us see what we could do for a girl silhouette. I know what I was going to do. So I'm going to start with a piece of this. Hi, Kathy. Hello to our newest patron. Kathy, thank you. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, we have our open sew. Oh, hello, Angela. Thank you for telling me it was you. And Allie, good morning. And Marcella, hello. Hello, everyone. So good to know you're out there. So we're going to try making a little scrappy doll. And I'm going to make it so it fits on this piece of paper. And I think what I'll do, because I do need some contrast, right? I do love this okra. Maybe this orange. No, that's too big a print. do something really small. There we go. No, that has too big too. Da, 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 da. What are we going to do with all our scraps? I used to have, I used to have just one of these. Now I have two of these. I thought of spending our hour cutting them into squares. That was one idea. Oops, sorry. And if I threw them out, I probably wouldn't miss them, but I cannot throw them out. And I know it's a problem. That's pretty. Well, I think I want a lot of contrast. Oh, from our BC quilt, right? Oh, I like these words. Aren't these fun? Hi, Colleen. Oh, gosh, I think you need to go light and dark buckets. That's a great idea, Colleen. Thank you. Hey, KB. I know. Oi is right. What the heck? Seriously, when this is all over, this COVID thing, we should all meet somewhere with our bucket of scraps. That would be the cost of admission, is our bucket of scraps. We throw them all on a table, and then we make a scrap quilt. I think that would be kind of fun. I think that'd be very fun. We could make a scrap house quilt is quite fun. Hey, way to go, KB. KB had a little sewing drought, but she's back. Oh, she retracted it. Uh-oh. See, we were on it fast. Oh, trace it, Leah. Thank you. Thank you. I will trace it. You're so smart. You must do a lot of fiber things. So where is, I'm not sure I have a pen. Where's my pen? Oh, I can tell you about my trip to the sewing machine store. Hang on, I'm going to get a pen. 1 second. Her pencil. And I grabbed one other thing. Okay, here's my pencil. I'm going to trace it and then do some paper piecing on it. And I'm not going to cut it up. I'll just you are so smart. Okay, so there she is. I'm a mess. What are you guys talking about? Okay, so here's my doll. And then I want it to really stand out. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make her out of this, her head. And I put gray thread in my machine. So if I start with her head, well, this is going to be tiny, but it is doable. And then I'm going to use, I'm going to put the stitch length down to 1.95. Oh, and I don't need 2 pieces of gray. I only need 1. That would add bulk. Okay, so I'm putting it on the back of my drawing. And I'm going to sew around her little head. Oops. Up you go. No, that's not what I want. That might not even be small enough. I might go 1.8, 1.7. I have to tell you, I love this machine. I've had it for more than a year. And I think, did I tell you, I was going to bring it down to have it cleaned, but the wait time was going to be 6 weeks. And they really were suggesting to give it another couple of months. They would honor my year contract and I can bring it come October or November. So that's what I'm going to do. But I love it. It does. I did some major embroidery and it performed beautifully, and I can do precision things and I can do heavy duty. I finished a t-shirt quilt. So, okay. So see how I'm just going around. I know you can't really see that too much. And I didn't want to use all the same fabrics. In fact, I want to use the back of this purple. We'll do one of these. Oh, I have to do the whole thing. Go. So how's everyone's week been? I hope you're talking amongst yourselves. Oh, Leah, speaking of light and dark, the square's behind me. Thank you. I played with it. I took all of everyone's input, and I decided to go from light to dark with these Kona squares. What was it? A Kona neutral charm pack. And then together we picked this fabric. And yeah, I wanted to make sure you guys liked it. And then this'll be around it. And let me make sure I have my iron set. I had to raise my iron for my t-shirt quilt. My ironing board, I mean. Okay. This might fail miserably. Oh, I'm sorry. Colleen says, tell me about my trip. Okay. Blaine's Sewing Studio Sewing Center down in Cranston, Rhode Island is where I bought the machine, and that's where I went to. And we sat down with a woman named Heather. There were three of us, Heather and then two of us. And we had to socially distance. And of course we had our masks on, and we walked in and we put our hand sanitizer on and all of that. And I really had intended to go because I was going to bring this back, and I had a year to do it. And that really was, otherwise I wouldn't have agreed to go. But anyway, I had agreed to go. So, and even though I called them and said it would be 6.5 weeks and I should just keep my machine, I still decided to go. So she taught me more about how to use the embroidery machine, how to back up, if the thread breaks, how to center things, how to use just different features of the embroidery machine. So that was great. And she told me about stabilizers. She said if it's stretchy at all, use a cutaway. If it's terry cloth or anything that has a nap, use something on top. That's about what she said. So, and I just have to play. So I got the poly mesh cutaway, and this, when it washes, it gets nice and soft. So they were talking about if I wanted to do, let's say, a sweatshirt, because I want to play with a sweatshirt, turn it into something funky to wear for the winter. And they said this will wash up nicely and it won't scratch. And I'm sure you guys know how to do, many of you I'm sure do embroidery. I'm new to it, so this is all. This is the stitch 2-0, so this will dissolve. And it's a topping, will not stick to your embroidery foot. It has a textured finish for ease of holding. Excess tears away. Use on top of item to be embroidered to keep stitches from sinking into the nap of the fabric. So if I were doing a monogram on, let's say, some terry towels. And then this final one was the Ultra Clean and Tear. So this is tear away. So we got those. That was exciting. That should last me for a good long time. I got a new thing of bobbins for my machine. My big bobbins. The problem with, I love these big bobbins. That should be a song. I love big bobbins, I cannot lie. Is they don't finish quickly. So if you get anywhere near several different colors, you end up needing more bobbins. I'm sure you guys have that problem too. And I usually stick to a pretty simple palette, but I just was running out of bobbins. I have white, black, red. I have 2 purples here. I don't know why I have those. And orange. And then I have gray in my machine. Oh, I know what it is. For the embroidery, I have two of the bobbins, white and black embroidery thread. Oh boy. Hi, Janine. Hi, Cherish. Hello, Colleen. Did you keep your 440? Colleen, I did not. That was a mistake. Nope, I traded it in. And I really regret that. Okay. So, Janine, I didn't mean to sigh. I just sighed because I just finished quilting one. T-shirt quilts are awesome. I have one finally that I made for myself, and I never understood the desire or intrigue to have a t-shirt quilt, but it really is like an old doll or like an old friend. You put it on you and you see shirts that you have been around or been with for years. I know that sounds weird. It's not like a dog, but you recognize your shirts and they're all there comforting you. Oh, yes, Allie. She loves her own. Oh, okay. Let me stay on task here. Talk about t-shirt quilts. So I do have some tips, Janine. I've learned how to do them in the last year. Definitely use interfacing. I use fusible. I use the Pellon fusible 911F, or I couldn't find that, so now I've been using medium weight. Works fine. Definitely use that. If you can, look for a press. So ironing the interfacing onto t-shirts takes a long time, especially because you have to really hold it down, the iron, hold it down for a while so it really adheres, and then move it over and hold it, move it over. There are presses. I'll show you the one I use. Here's the t-shirt quilt press I use. I know there are others that are bigger and better. This is a Singer. I think it originally was Chris Myers. She gave it to Jean. Jean has lent it to me. So Magic Steam Press. And yeah, see, it gets hot. You have to be careful. It gets hot so you can melt some of the ink. But you basically, you use this to put the interfacing on. Stretching issues. Yep. Okay, so stretching is the main issue. Let me see what you said about that. That's what I have the issue with when I'm quilting it, because the interfacing, the shirt will stretch. So what did you ask? Softball uniforms, especially when it's the shinier, more poly material, the harder it is. But again, interface it and then slow down all your stitching. No matter what you're doing, whether you're sewing it together, make the seams a good 3 to 3/8 to an inch, to half an inch. Stretching issues is that what the interfacing is for. To iron on the back. That's exactly what it is. Yep. You iron the interfacing on the back. I'm sorry. You make it just, what I usually do is I roughly cut out the front of the t-shirt. Let's say it's going to be 14 inches by 14 inches. I might cut it out 16 by 16 and really rough. You know, I'm hacking up the t-shirt. And then I've got that piece of t-shirt. Then I put the interfacing on the back. I use that machine rather than my iron. Again, that's a game changer. If you're really going to do many t-shirts, I would suggest that. But an iron is fine. If you're doing just one, that's fine. Put the interfacing on the back so that the t-shirt is easier and better to sew. Is SF101 good for shirts also? Probably. Is that a Pellon? I think that is too. Any of them or a lot of them will work just fine. Yeah, so Janine, keep us posted. Get excited. It's definitely doable. Oh, another tip is you can put sashing in between. If you don't have enough t-shirts, you want to make your quilt bigger, or let's say you have the t-shirts are really unruly and you don't want to deal with all of that to quilt, you can put sashing in between and you don't have to interface that. Just use 100% cotton and that helps keep it stable. Remember, measure everything. So especially your borders, right? We talked about that last week. Measure it, cut your border, and then ease it on because those t-shirts will stretch. And if you don't do that, you're going to have wavy borders. What about different sizes? Oh, Colleen says it's 100% cotton, SF101 Pellon. That sounds even better. That sounds great. I think the interfacing I've been using, it's polyester. Yep. What about different sizes? There are some books online, or if you look online, you can make t-shirt quilts with, I think this is the question, with different sizes of shirts. And you ultimately cut them into different size squares. Or you can make them all the same square and then put sashing between them. What I've been doing lately is I've been finding that most t-shirts, I can get 14 inches wide. I can get whatever I want, the image will fit within 14 inches. And then I leave as much of the length as I have. So I end up with blocks. Like I think the one that's over here is 25. We're 25 of shirts. And they were all 14 inches wide, but they varied in length. I laid them out into rows of 5 each. And then I could play with the sizes and the sashing so that they all were the right size, if that makes sense. So that ultimately, when I sewed all 5 of them together, they measured 80 inches long. Let's see. I have t-shirts from, her 7th grade up to college softball teams. That's wonderful. This sounds awesome. I'm excited to do this project. You should be, Janine. It's really fun. It's really fun. In fact, why don't we do that? I'm more excited to show you this t-shirt quilt than I am to play in the scraps tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera over. I'm going to turn the light over. And I'm going to show you this t-shirt quilt that is, I don't want to take it off the frame because I still have one more thing to do. But it's made for a baseball player. He started playing when he was little, just like your daughter. And he's just now going to college. So it has his college will be Assumption. And they wanted me to put that in the middle. So there's one college t-shirt, but the rest are from the rest. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to turn the camera and see if this works. Okay. Hi. Okay. Now, let me get the light turned around. That might help. Okay. The backing is this blue minky. And first things first, undo this and see if when I roll it down, you can see some of it. All right. And then I am going to move the camera. Sorry if this doesn't work, everyone. Just undid. So I don't know if you can see that. His name is McAvoy, is his last name. And this, okay, here's an example of a polyester shirt, this OBX shirt. Look at how the quilting is all puckered up. And even though that has that has a lot of interfacing, it still didn't stick well enough, and it moved around when the machine went over it. Conversely, this looks great, this cotton t-shirt. I put in sashing where I needed it. And again, it has the baseball motif on the back because he really, and the scoreboard fabric here around it. Does that help, Janine? Oh, you guys are the best. Oh, good. There's some other tips here. Good. An excellent tutorial. Check out Lisa. Something Quilts. That's excellent. Thank you, Colleen. Perfect. See, it takes a tribe. It takes a village. Oh, I guess I do have to go back to my scrap quilting, which is fun. Okay. Well, let me plug this in. Now this is good pod. I'm plugging in my mouse. This is more like open sew. Very informal, isn't it? Okay, I'm coming around. Oh, let me show you Deb's quilt. Deb Linehan, if you're out there. Heaven forbid I not have the light on me. I need the light. Lights, camera, action. This is a cute one from the Jelly Roll. We're going to do cream stipple. It's that cowgirl, cowboy Jelly Roll. That's cute. Okay. Let's finish our dolly. And I think that was it. Okay. Let's finish our dolly here. Oh, and I did want to show you another packaging thing. So this came, have you all been seeing the Verizon? We had a field trip, Colleen. You did. I love it. This came in a FedEx package. Verizon's been doing a lot of advertising. This came in a FedEx package. And it says, it's for you. I don't know if you guys got this. Anyway, I finally fell for it, and I said, okay, all right, I'll sign up for the credit card because then I can get money off my bill. So this comes in the mail within, I can't order anything or send anything that doesn't take a month to get here. But sure enough, when I said I wanted a credit card, it took just a day or two. Go figure. That comes, this is the coolest little marketing gimmick. You opened it up, it came, you pulled it off, it was a strip like a postage, pull it off, and then this thing comes. And in here it has instructions to activate your card, blah, 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 blah. Maybe you've seen this. So you open this up, and then there's a little thing here. Nice little envelope. And here is the black card. It's really heavy. Can you imagine how much that marketing material cost? I haven't activated it. I just wanted to show you the packaging before I did that. And it fits beautifully. So if anyone has any ideas for what we could use this for, let me know. It's a little bit off. That's interesting. It's just slightly off. It's like one of those, is it a dado? No, biscuit. You know the biscuits they use in woodworking? Where they have the biscuit? If TG Bob's on, I bet he knows what a biscuit is. Anyway. So that's what you get if you order a Verizon credit card. I would never have found the card. No kidding. That's so true. Okay, so this is the start of our doll. Oh, Carol Bell, your Hope quilt looks beautiful. I like the purple border you put on it. I really like that quilt. Oh, twins! I think Leah, so let me back up. Leah's, oh boy, is it your niece? I think it's your niece, is having twins. She's looking for ideas. She posted it on the Simply Colorful Facebook page. And she's looking for ideas for quilts. And I think I read somewhere that today is National Twins Day. Did you know that? You must have. Anyway, I'm very excited for you. That's just great news. There's nothing like a baby to get your mind off COVID or anything else. The promise of the future. Yeah, so we're looking for baby quilt ideas. I don't have any really. I'll keep my eyes open now that I know we need one. Okay. Ooh, this is pretty. I'm going to take a slightly bigger piece of this. So I think, Kate, thanks to KB Sleuthing, I think our mother is at my cousin's wedding in the backyard. So that will be interesting to hear. Oops. Because I don't think she's here. I think. New babies are the best. Okay. All right, so we have a head. Now what we want to do is make her arms. We want to make that out of this gray. And they end up being probably less than 1/4 of an inch wide. Put that right across. And because we drew her on the back, it's easy. We just follow the line. There's that. There's her arm. Aha. Now we have to make her torso. And I'm going to cheat a little bit because I know how big her torso needs to be. So I'm going to take about 1.25 inches of her torso. And then I'm going to take neutrals on either side and sew them on the torso. What are you all working on? I hope you're sharing. I think I see that you're sharing that on the chat, which is great. It's a nice summer night. Who's been having corn? We had our first ears of corn tonight. They were okay. We got them at Stop and Shop. They didn't taste quite farm fresh, but they were good. Okay, so that's her torso. And I am laying it on top there. This, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the little doll in the middle, and then I'll do some pieces around. Ooh, she has a big torso. She's not a little girl. She's a mother. Let's say she's pregnant. How about that? Okay. Also, to make her dress, we want to cut it on either side. Right? How lucky are we to be able to just play with fabric? This is kind of cool. This is another shirt of Bob's. If Carol's out there, hi Carol. I promise I won't leave him shirtless. He got some new glasses from Zenny. Big doings. That was our first time ordering from Zenny, and it worked out really well. An online eyeglass place. This is going to get into the weeds, but we had our prescription for glasses. Did I tell everyone this? And then you go on to zenni.com, Zenni, and I think there are others, Warbly, and I'm sure there are other online sellers. And you put in your prescription. I'm trying to think. Maybe I had to take a copy of the prescription and put that in. But there's one thing they ask you that's wasn't on our prescription, which is the pupillary distance. Basically, the distance between this pupil and the center of this pupil and the center of this pupil. So you can measure it or you can call your doctor. We did both. Turns out our measurement was pretty darn close. We were a few millimeters less on both of our eyes. Not that I didn't order glasses. They were just for Bob. But our experience has been good. So we got that. Once you got that PD measurement, and again, just call your doctor, and you have your prescription. It was easy peasy, and it was a lot less expensive than any eye doctor, any place I've gone to buy my glasses before. It wasn't $9.99, but his progressive glasses were $45. Oh, Leah, you have a big family, don't you? Oh, mindless sewing tonight? Oh, cool. Pat, that sounds great. That did not come out as I imagined. I'm going to redo that. You see her? I'm going to take this off, and that's too dark of a color. It's too gray. And it's not at the right angle. So what do we do? So what are we going to do for the fall? What new project? Is anyone doing the Gundren? Is it called Harmony or Unity quilt? I forget which. I'm thinking later in the month that I'm going to attend virtually the National Doll Conference. So, and I might even pay. Then the question is, will I have enough patience to really sit and watch it? That's my problem, is it's not patience, it's attention. My attention span. Let's just say it's not getting any better. All right, we're back to that. We need a better, you know what, maybe I'll just do this. Need a steeper slope for her dress. And a more contrasting color. Okay. So, hey, this is gonna work. Pretty sure. If not, she'll just be a quirky doll. Okay, she still has a big waist, but that works. And now let's frame her up. She has a big waist, and then it goes to a tiny waist. That's kind of funny. So she has a muffin top. Okay, let's frame her. See how these are all framed in a darker color? So maybe what I'll do is I'll find a darker color. That's a little too dark. I think this will work. All right. Oh, and she didn't have any feet, right? She just had almost like a salt shaker. There's one side. There. This is way too thick, I know. I really just wanted to show you the frame. Has everyone gotten haircuts yet? As you can tell, I have not. Although I keep cutting my bangs. It's probably getting to be time. Okay. So there are two sides. Now we'll just do the top and bottom. And you know what we'll do? We have this piece. We're going to cut in half because we really are going to cut this way down. This frame will end up being quarter of an inch. That. Oh, Janine, your hair reaches your waist. That's awesome. I only dream of ever having that. Ever. Okay. Set the seams. I'm sure this is making a big dent in my stash, don't you think? My scrap pile. Ah, that could cut off a lot. That's okay. I'm keeping it. It's my first doll. Oh, I love that you're talking to each other. Oh, yes, Pamela, donate your hair to Locks of Love. I dreamt it too. Now I got myself Rapunzel look. Oh, that's awesome, Janine. Oh. Okay, let's see. I'm now going to tighten this up so that it's sort of, well, it's hindsight, this probably should have even been darker, but that's okay. It's fine. Now what we're going to do is, that's a pretty one. I like that fabric. Cut this right lengthwise. And if we cut this in half, will it do both? That is the question. Yep. Okay. I like this fabric too. Which one's this? Recognize that? I should know which one it is. KB, we can't wait to see what you dream up in your quilting studio. We do all sorts of things on our Patreon Open Sew, like, for instance, my sister KB last week, was it just last week? Or the week before, maybe, was putting in new flooring in her sewing room. And so she turned on her webcam And she was on the Zoom call. Every once in a while, we'd call out to her. She was over there in the corner putting down flooring. How fun is that she shared that with us? Because it made us feel like we were doing work, but we weren't really. That's going to be pretty. Not too much contrast, which is good or bad. It's fine for this. I think this will be my last couple of seams. And there. Let's iron it. Oh, that's a pretty blue. There she is. Which one doesn't look like the others? We'll make it, you know what we'll do? We'll add some of this floral in. But there she is. I think that's it, everyone. It's so good to know you're out there, and thank you for joining me. Hi to Stitchy Home. Hi, Becca. See my crazy quilter at work sign is still over there. I will read your comments. Thank you for talking amongst yourselves, and we will see you next Friday night right here. And remember, do what you love to do what you're good at. Usually it's one and the same thing. Do a lot of it and do something for someone else. It'll make you feel good. Be safe, everyone. Bye.